Unbelievable moments tend to happen all the time in absence of camera until some of them get caught on camera. Get ready, as today we will cover some of the most unexplained videos that will give you the chills.
Oh my God!
A villager sensed an unusual presence and went to check. As he looked around, he froze in shock. A dark, winged creature with a monstrous face was perched on the roof of a wooden hut, moving in a strange, unsettling way. He quickly realized what it was. Manangal? This terrifying creature from Filipino folklore is known for separating its upper body from its lower half and growing bat-like wings to hunt at night. That villager never made it back home. He mysteriously vanished that night, and no one ever found him. People believed the creature had taken him away, adding yet another eerie tale to its legend. Hidden ghost. One lady noticed something sitting under her blanket. Slowly, she pulled it away, and there she was, a creepy girl, eyes rolled up, looking like some ghostly entity people had feared for years. The moment she saw it, she ran without looking back. Rumors spread fast. They said it was the spirit of a girl who had passed away in that house. But even now, her spirit still lingers, waiting for anyone brave enough to stay. Terrifying demon. This video was uploaded online and went viral for a very real reason. It showed a bizarre, pale figure covered in messy hair, moving unnaturally. The way it acted looked like some kind of possession. People were convinced it wasn't human. Its face, its presence, it had to be a demon. But the real shock came later. Without warning, the video vanished on its own, as if it was never meant to be seen. Cursed doll. A mother was about to go to sleep when she noticed a doll sitting on the sofa. Thinking it belonged to her daughter, she picked it up to return it to her room, but as she turned around, she froze. A strange figure was sitting there, its face burned and unrecognizable. Panic took over and she ran out of the room. Later, the family learned the truth. The doll was cursed, linked to a spirit that refused to leave. They thought getting rid of it would solve everything, but curses like that don't just go away so easily. Witch's escape. In 2020, a group of locals entered a cave, not in search of ancient artifacts, but to find a lost girl. She was the daughter of one of them, and they refused to leave without her. As they moved deeper inside, they suddenly stopped. A bizarre-looking being stood ahead, its eerie face barely visible. It was a witch, there was no doubt, and it wasn't alone. It had the girl. The group didn't hesitate, confronting the creature in a desperate attempt to save her. After a struggle, they managed to break free with the girl. From that day on, no one dared to step near that cave again. Evil ritual. An explorer came across an old house and decided to step inside for some rest. As he stood outside one of the rooms, he heard strange noises coming from inside. Curious but uneasy, he slowly pushed the door open. Inside, several figures dressed in black and red were gathered. Candles flickered on the floor, surrounded by mysterious symbols. It was clear, some kind of dark ritual was taking place. Without wasting a second, he turned and ran as fast as he could. Later, when he searched for answers, he discovered that the ritual was meant to summon evil spirits, and the people who performed it were never caught. Phantom nurse. A group of explorers decided to check out an abandoned hospital, not knowing they would become part of its eerie history. As they walked through the decaying halls, they felt an unsettling feeling. Then in one of the windows, they saw it. A figure dressed in white, sitting perfectly still. It looked human, but something felt off. Before they could react, the figure vanished. They turned to leave, but suddenly it appeared right in front of them. Panic set in and they ran. Rumors suggested the hospital was said to be haunted by a nurse. Many had claimed to see her sitting in that same window, watching. Restless spirit. Russian scientists decided to investigate an old jail cell where eerie sounds had been reported. To uncover the truth, they set up a camera overnight. What they captured was beyond terrifying. A pale figure in a white gown appeared in different spots, sometimes standing near the wall, sometimes lying on the bed. It never stayed still, moving as if trapped in that space. Later, the truth was revealed. Years ago, someone had passed away in that very cell, and ever since, their spirit remained, wandering restlessly every night. No one could explain it, but one thing was clear. Whatever was caught on camera was still there, as if unable to leave. Twisted Presence. The house owner was alone when the light suddenly went out. A strange feeling crept over her like someone else was there. As she reached for a flashlight, she noticed a shadow hiding behind the wall. She stepped closer, and that's when she saw it. A woman in white sitting on the wall. But the most terrifying part, her head was upside down, her hands clawed. She turned and ran, but the presence followed her, unseen but near. Some believed she was a cursed spirit, trapped long before the house even stood. No matter how far she ran, she would never escape the feeling of being watched. Dark Ritual.
¡Ay, güey, no mames! ¡Ven, acércate!
Some researchers visited a hidden location in a small Mexican village. The place was nothing more than a brick room, built in secret for unknown reasons. As they stepped inside, they noticed something strange in the corner, blown out candles surrounding a doll. Before they could understand what was happening, a horrifying face appeared at the window. Its twisted features left no doubt it was a witch. The ritual inside was no ordinary practice, it was black magic. As the researchers backed away, the figure outside vanished without a trace. Some say they were lucky. If the witch had chosen to act differently, they might not have made it out at all. Haunted Bride.
Compa, mira, eso es lo que estaban diciendo.
A local was heading home late at night when he noticed something bizarre in the cemetery. A figure stood there, dressed in a bride's gown, her hair messy. At that hour, no one should have been there, yet she moved strangely, almost as if performing a ritual. As he watched, another dark figure emerged from behind a tree. It slowly approached her, and after a moment, the two began walking away together. Uneasy, the local stepped back and left the area. Rumors spread that they were the spirits of a couple who passed away on their wedding day. The bride still wore her gown, forever trapped in the moment they never got to live.
Llegó alguien con ella. Ahí está parado. Y le está hablando con ella.
Hidden Faces. This lady stepped into her room to grab some stuff, but what she saw made her freeze. Her cupboard was open, and in the lower section, 3 large humanoid faces stared back at her. They were far too big to be human. Fear took over as she backed away, realizing she wasn't alone. She had to leave immediately. Afterward, she found out the house was built over an old cemetery. The graves were gone, but the spirits never left. Long Tongue. Next is this villager who was walking at night when he got the shock of his life. Among the trees, he saw a figure sitting on the ground. At first, it looked like a woman, but then he noticed her tongue. It was unnaturally long. Before he could move, she suddenly stood up. Her eerie presence reminded him of the Kuntalanak, a ghost known for luring victims into the darkness. Without a second thought, he turned and ran. But creatures like these don't let go easily. No one knows if he made it out safely, but one thing is certain, those who see her rarely escape without consequence. Shadow Watcher. This time it was in a playground. A shadowy figure appeared with its glowing eyes. It resembled a human, but didn't move like one. It stood there for a while, then slowly turned as if leaving. Many believed it was a lost spirit, drawn to places once filled with life, but when it turned away, some questioned if it was truly gone or just waiting for the right moment to return. If you ever come across such a presence, it's best to leave and never look back. Vanished Woman. A strange incident took place on the road when a pedestrian noticed an odd woman walking ahead. Her face looked pale, and her movements were unsteady. Even the Corps nearby took notice and asked if she needed help, but she kept acting strangely. People watching grew uneasy. She didn't seem normal. Some whispered that she looked like a zombie woman. When the Corps decided to follow her, she turned a corner, but when they reached the spot, she was gone. Floating curse. There was a circus taking place in a village when something strange happened. One of the performers suddenly started floating in the air. There were no strings, no support, nothing. It looked like some kind of voodoo. People quickly recorded the sighting and posted it online. Some believed it was just a trick, but others were convinced an evil spirit was behind it. A similar incident happened in Africa, where a broom was seen moving on its own. It didn't just move, it even danced. Those who saw it were shocked. Some believed the broom belonged to a witch, which explained why it moved that way. Whether it was real or not, it left people speechless. Swinging Man. Some campers were deep in the woods when they saw a sight straight out of a nightmare. An old man was swinging on a tree at midnight. It seemed impossible. But then they noticed there was no swing. The figure just hung there, moving back and forth. Before they could react, it suddenly rushed toward them at an unnatural speed. They ran as fast as they could, their hearts pounding. It didn't feel like a normal person. It was as if something had taken over him, something not human. They didn't dare look back and just kept running. Window figure. A house owner was about to sleep when he noticed a terrifying figure outside the window. It was pale, with long hair like a woman, moving in an unnatural way. The sight alone was enough to make his skin crawl. He quickly grabbed his phone and recorded it, later uploading the video online. Some believed it wasn't just a djinn, but a trapped spirit looking for a way inside. The slow, eerie movements felt like it was testing the boundaries, waiting for a moment of weakness. The house owner locked every door and window, but deep down, he knew if it wanted to enter, no lock could stop it. Moving cart. A CCTV camera in a shopping mall captured a strange sight. Everything seemed normal until a girl appeared on the screen. She moved her hand, and suddenly a trolley started rolling on its own, like magic. People nearby watched in shock. It didn't seem like a trick or coincidence. The way it moved felt strange, as if controlled by some unseen force. Some believed she wasn't just an ordinary girl, but someone with real powers. It was the kind of thing people only heard about in stories or saw in movies. But this time, it happened right in front of them. Office haunting. In Japan, something unbelievable happened in an office. A worker was staying late, alone, when suddenly files fell to the floor on their own. As she looked around, the chairs started moving by themselves. Before she could react, an unseen force grabbed her legs and dragged her across the room. It felt like the ghost of an overworked employee, one who never truly left. The video capturing it ended abruptly, and after that night, the woman was never seen again. Haunting doll.
No manches, mira.
An old video from 2010 recently caught people's attention online. It showed a girl holding a doll, casually making a video, but then something unexpected happened. The doll turned its face toward her. Creepy, right? The moment she saw it, she threw the doll in fear. For a second, it seemed like this wasn't just any normal toy, but something like Chucky or Annabelle, maybe a spirit trapped inside. A similar case happened when a girl was playing with two Barbie dolls. Suddenly, one of them changed its face on its own. She got so scared that she left the doll and never played with them again. Whatever it was, both families wasted no time and called a priest. Floating specter. In Nicaragua, 2023, a resident was heading home when something made him stop in his tracks. A skinny figure dressed in white with a creepy face appeared in front of a bungalow. It moved strangely, and then out of nowhere it floated into the air. The resident had never seen anything like it. As he watched, the figure slowly drifted behind a pillar and vanished. He rushed to check, but there was no one there. Rumors suggested it was La Llorona, the ghost forever searching for something she lost, but those who knew the legend whispered, once you see her, she never truly leaves you. Night Intruder. A kitchen camera recorded something terrifying. A humanoid figure stood outside the window, its veins clearly visible all over its body, eyes glowing in the dark. For a moment, it just watched. Then its hands moved, slowly opening the window. It stepped inside, but instead of attacking, it just stood there, as if searching for something. After a while, it turned and disappeared into the night. Some believed it was a demon that had wandered in from the nearby woods. Those who saw the footage agreed on one thing: it was never meant to be seen. Red Phantom. A villager was heading home when he noticed a girl in red sitting behind a wall. Her bizarre smile and strange movements made him uneasy. He hurried his pace, wanting to get away, but when he turned back, she was gone. There was no place for her to disappear that quickly. It seemed like she was possessed by something unnatural. From that day on, he avoided that route, especially at night. The memory of that night stayed with him, and he never wanted to experience it again. Trapped Spirit. A clip making headlines online showed an old church. Attached to it was a figure in a chaotic state. It was upside down, being pulled by something unseen, as if not in control. People suggested it was a tormented spirit, trapped between worlds, unable to break free. The way it struggled made many believe it was a soul being punished, or worse, something trying to escape. That sight left a lasting impact, and the church was eventually closed permanently. Dark Watcher.
ما راح أقرب أكثر.
While exploring an abandoned site, some explorers came across a giant black figure peeking from behind a wall. It had the face of a gorilla, staring directly at them. The sight alone was enough to make them uneasy. Locals believed it was a jinn tied to the abandoned area. When a place stays empty for too long, such beings take over. Some say they don't like intruders, and those who see them might not leave unnoticed. Without wasting time, the explorers stepped back quickly, not wanting to find out what would happen next. Ghostly Passenger.
What? What's wrong with you?
A family was on a road trip when something made them stop. At first, they thought it was a beggar, but it wasn't. Behind their car window stood a doll-like figure, pale face, creepy eyes, resembling a possessed doll. But what made it worse? It spoke to them. Fear took over as they realized it wasn't human. Locals later said it was the ghost of a girl who passed away on that road. Those who had seen her before warned that once she appears, she doesn't always leave right away. Vanished Man. A clip uploaded online went viral for a chilling reason. It showed a man stuck in an abandoned building. As he walked down the hallway, he saw a figure in black. Before he could react, it vanished into thin air. Fear took over. He was alone, yet something was there. A jinn, maybe? Then the video ended abruptly. No one knows what happened next. His friends later claimed he went missing after that sighting, leaving behind only the footage as proof of what he saw.
No.
Dancing Shadow. A local stepped outside for a night walk when he noticed a lady. At first, nothing seemed unusual, but then he realized something was off. She was dancing, her movement strange, almost unnatural. In the darkness, her face wasn't clear, but her eerie behavior was enough to give goosebumps. It reminded him of the Serbian dancing lady, known for taking those who watched her for too long. Luckily, he stayed hidden and didn't cross her path. Otherwise, he might have faced the same fate as those who never returned. Cursed Cave. In Saudi Arabia, a ghost hunter explored a cave when he spotted a figure covered in black holding a stick. The way it moved felt bizarre, almost like it was performing a ritual. Then out of nowhere, something struck him, yet the figure didn't react. It just kept going, as if unaware of his presence. That's when he realized this wasn't just any figure. It was a witch casting a spell. Staying any longer could be risky. Without a second thought, he turned and left before it was too late. Glowing Guardian. An online video caught people's attention as it showed a cave surrounded by onlookers. They stood frozen, staring at a glowing white figure inside. It had a human-like form, yet something about it felt otherworldly. The figure didn't move, just remained there, as if watching over the place. It might be an angel, or guardian of the cave. Well, what's your take on this? Floating woman. Ghosts in the woods are one thing, but a hiker once witnessed something even stranger. As he walked through the trees, he saw a woman standing alone, holding a stick. Then without any support, she slowly floated into the air. It didn't seem possible, yet it happened right in front of him. He believes she might have possessed some kind of supernatural ability, or perhaps a guardian angel had lifted her. Either way, what he saw that day stayed with him forever. Pale stare. A local was walking home on the footpath when he noticed a woman standing nearby. It seemed ordinary, so he kept going. But as he got closer, he realized something was wrong. Her face was pale, her eyes unsettling, nothing like a normal person. She just stared at him, unmoving. A cold feeling washed over him. He hurried past without daring to look back. Even after reaching home, he couldn't shake the feeling that someone had followed him. Mirror trick. A boy stood in front of the mirror, fixing his hair. Everything seemed normal until he turned to talk to his family, but the mirror showed something strange. His reflection didn't follow him. It moved in a different way, almost as if it had a mind of its own. He didn't notice, but those who saw the video couldn't ignore it. Some believe mirrors are more than just glass. They say they're gateways where unseen beings mimic us, but not perfectly. And if a reflection moves on its own, it might not be yours anymore. Chapel Nun. In April 2019, a ghost hunter returned to an abandoned chapel to film alone. As he searched the premises, he heard a voice coming from a room. Cautiously, he approached a World War II memorial plaque listing fallen soldiers. While looking at it, he felt an eerie presence. Turning around, he saw a white figure peeking from the window. It resembled a nun, but the chapel had been abandoned for years. Fear took over, and he rushed outside. As he stepped out, a shadowy figure appeared on the roof's left side. Glancing back, he saw the nun's face again in the window. He knew staying longer wasn't an option. Without hesitation, he left, a decision that probably saved him. Supermarket possession. A supermarket camera captured a scene straight out of a horror movie. At first, everything seemed normal. A man opened a refrigerator when suddenly he froze and started shaking uncontrollably. His body moved in an unnatural way, as if something had taken control. He appeared possessed, showing signs that made people believe a jinn was inside him. The unsettling moment lasted until he collapsed. The supermarket called doctors and he returned to normal, but those who saw the footage weren't convinced. Some believe whatever took over him might return, and when it does, he may not be able to fight it. Dark pet.
This thing is so weird.
Two friends ordered a dog from the dark web, not expecting what followed. They caught it in a cage, but something felt off. It didn't look like a normal dog. Its body seemed creepy. Then came the real shock. The creature spoke, warning them in a voice that gave them goosebumps. Panic set in and one of them ran to his friend, realizing they had brought something far from ordinary into their home. Fearing they had ordered a demonic being, they knew keeping it wasn't safe. The only thought left in their minds, how to get rid of it.
You understand me?
Ouija grip. 4 girls gathered around a Ouija board. Trying to end their session, they moved the cup in circles, following the ritual to close it, but something wasn't ready to leave. As they were about to finish, one of them suddenly froze. Her eyes shifted, and for a moment, it seemed like something had taken over her. She trembled, her body stiff, as if possessed. Then, just as quickly, it stopped. The others rushed to her, holding her as she shook in fear. Someone asked if she needed water, but after what just happened, that wouldn't be enough. Horned terror. A newscaster visited the woods near a village, known for eerie stories. He was talking to a local about the hauntings when suddenly, a red-horned creature appeared. It stood there, terrifying to look at. Without wasting a second, they ran. The villagers had always believed something sinister lurked there. Rumors claimed that dark rituals had taken place in those woods, calling something unnatural. Some believed what they saw was a demon, a presence that should never have been disturbed. Whatever it was, they knew staying any longer wasn't an option. Cave creature. One night, villagers spotted a terrifying creature. It was long, possibly 10 feet, with a fish-like body but a human-like upper half. Its eerie appearance left them unsettled. They believed it had escaped from a nearby cave, a place tied to strange rumors. Some thought it could be a possessed demonic cave creature, lurking in the darkness for years. Now seeing it with their own eyes, they knew the stories held truth. Not wanting to take any risks, they decided to return it to the cave, back to where it belonged. Angry spirit. A man in Tokyo experienced strange events in his apartment. Objects moved on their own, especially in the kitchen, where things were thrown without explanation. Wanting proof, he recorded everything. He lived with his wife, but neither of them knew why this was happening. Some believed it was the spirit of a woman, filled with anger, possibly seeking revenge. Others thought she didn't realize she had passed away. If she once lived in that building, her spirit might still be trapped there, oppressing anyone who dared to stay. Burnt figure.
Astagfirullahaladzim matanya. Ya Allah, Allahu Akbar, Allah, astagfirullahaladzim.
This house owner was stunned when he saw a strange figure standing before him. Its face was completely burnt, giving it an eerie look. It stared at him for a moment before vanishing behind him. When he turned, he noticed the ceiling's upper roof was broken. It seemed as if the figure had come from there and returned the same way. He searched the area, but it was gone. Some believe spirits returned to where they once suffered. If that burnt figure disappeared into the broken roof, it might have been trying to go back where it belonged.
Gua deketin. Assalamualaikum.
Dark grip. On December 4th, 2024 in Ohio, a mother was checking on her baby when something terrifying happened. As she reached for the crib, an unseen force grabbed her with such strength that it dragged her from the room to the stairs. It didn't let go no matter how much she struggled. She tried again to reach her baby, but the force pulled her into a dark room. After a while, she stepped out, but she wasn't the same. Her movements were strange. Some believe a demonic presence lived in that room that had taken over her. If so, the family needed to act fast and seek help before it got worse. Open discussion. In Mexico, a strange incident caught people's attention. A figure dressed in white was seen moving restlessly on the ground. Something was definitely off. Nearby, a woman lay still as priests performed a ritual on her. It wasn't just any ritual, it was an exorcism. In Mexico, priests are known to perform exorcisms on local brujas to rid them of evil spirits. But this time, something was different. As the ritual continued, her body twisted in unnatural ways. The people watching realized the spirit inside her wasn't leaving. It had taken hold of her was strong, and the outcome of the ritual remained uncertain. Thank you very much for watching the video. Share in the comments and do like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.